Have you ever added garlic to your meal, thinking it was doing your body good, only to wonder later why you still feel tired, bloated, or off balance? For many people over 50, garlic is more than just a seasoning. It's a trusted ally for heart health, immunity, and vitality. But what if the way you've been using it is quietly working against you? In this video, we're going to uncover 5 common garlic habits that might be limiting its benefits or even causing harm without you realizing it. These are simple mistakes, often made with the best intentions, but they matter more than you think if you want to keep using garlic as part of a healthier, more energized life. The key lies not in taking more, but in using it wisely. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could completely change how you see this everyday ingredient. Mistake number 1, cooking garlic the wrong way. Garlic has been a trusted companion in the kitchen and in natural healing for generations. Often called nature's antibiotic, it holds a place of honor in many cultures for its remarkable ability to support heart health, reduce inflammation, and strengthen the immune system. But here's a truth that surprises many people over 50. The way we cook garlic can quietly erase most of its healing power. Not because garlic has lost its magic, but because we may be using it in a way that strips it of its most valuable compound before our bodies can benefit from it. At the heart of garlic's strength is a compound called allicin. This is the substance responsible for garlic's pungent aroma and many of its powerful medicinal effects. But allicin is fragile. It doesn't exist in whole garlic cloves. It only forms when we chop or crush garlic, triggering a natural reaction between 2 internal components, alliin and alliinase. The challenge is, once allicin is created, it begins to degrade almost immediately under high heat. For many of us, the moment garlic hits a sizzling hot pan at the start of cooking, the beneficial compounds are already vanishing. This is a common mistake and one that's particularly important for older adults. As we age, our bodies rely more on foods that nourish, heal, and protect. Garlic can be one of those powerful allies, but only if we let it work the way nature intended. Fortunately, the solution is beautifully simple. After crushing or chopping garlic, let it rest for 10 minutes before adding it to heat. That pause allows the full allicin to develop. Think of it like steeping tea or letting bread dough rise. The wait unlocks the potential once it has rested. The next step is to rethink when we add it during cooking. Instead of throwing it into a hot pan first, add it later, once your food is nearly done. This way, it warms just enough to enhance flavor without destroying what makes it so special. And if raw garlic feels too strong for your stomach, there are gentle alternatives. Roasting garlic at low temperatures softens its flavor while preserving other antioxidants. Black garlic, aged and sweet, offers a whole new experience and is easier to digest. Garlic tea with lemon and honey can also soothe and support your body. And a small amount of raw garlic blended into dressings or hummus keeps its benefits intact without overwhelming your taste buds. Take, for example, Mr. Harold, a 70-year-old retired mechanic from Oregon. Every evening, he cooked dinner for himself and his dog Buddy. He believed he was doing the right thing by including garlic in every dish, but he always started by sautéing it right after the oil went in. After watching a health segment on a local radio show about how garlic loses its allicin when cooked too soon, he decided to give the crush and rest approach a try. He started chopping his garlic first, letting it sit while he prepped his vegetables, and only added it in the last few minutes of cooking. Not only did the meals taste better, but Harold noticed a difference in how he felt. His blood pressure, which had slowly crept upward over the years, started to level out. At his next doctor's appointment, the numbers were noticeably better. Small change, big result. There are also important safety tips. Never store crushed garlic in oil at room temperature. This creates a serious risk of bacterial growth. Always store it in a sealed container in the fridge and use it within a few days. And if you microwave garlic, be sure to crush it first and limit the time to under 30 seconds to protect its healing compounds. Cooking garlic the wrong way is an easy mistake to make, especially when we've spent years doing it a certain way. But with a little awareness and a tiny shift in timing, we can transform garlic back into the healing food it was always meant to be. If you're someone looking to embrace food as medicine and make the most of every ingredient on your plate, this is one of the most rewarding places to start. And now that you've uncovered this first hidden mistake, let's turn our attention to the next one, which involves a silent danger many seniors face when garlic and medications mix. Mistake number 2, taking garlic with certain medications. Garlic has earned its reputation as a natural powerhouse. It's affordable, accessible, and filled with compounds that support heart health, immunity, and circulation. For many seniors, it's become a daily staple, a quiet companion at the dinner table or in the form of a supplement. But what most people over 50 don't realize is that garlic, while natural, can be surprisingly potent, and when combined with certain medications, it can create effects that are more powerful than intended. Mistake number 2 is assuming that garlic is too gentle to interfere with your prescriptions. The truth is, it's strong enough that it deserves the same careful attention you would give any medicine. Let's begin with one of the most common medication categories for older adults: blood thinners. Many people take medications like warfarin, clopidogrel, or even a daily aspirin to prevent blood clots and protect their heart. What's remarkable is that garlic also has a natural blood thinning effect. It gently reduces the stickiness of your platelets, which is why it's so often praised for its cardiovascular benefits. But here's where the trouble can start. If you're already on prescription blood thinners and then begin consuming garlic heavily, especially in supplement form, the combination can thin your blood too much. That increases the risk of internal bleeding, easy bruising, or complications during surgery. There have even been cases where routine dental procedures or minor operations had to be delayed because someone's blood was unexpectedly too thin. And often, they didn't even think to mention they were taking garlic. Another important area to consider is diabetes. Garlic has a mild but real ability to lower blood sugar. That can sound like good news if you're managing type 2 diabetes. But if you're taking medications like insulin, metformin, or glipizide, the combined effect may push your sugar levels lower than you expect. You might feel shaky, lightheaded, or unusually tired. These symptoms are easy to brush off as part of aging, but they can be signs of low blood sugar brought on by an interaction between garlic and your medicine. Then there's the impact on cholesterol medications, particularly statins. Garlic supplements, again because of their strength, can interfere with how your liver processes these drugs. This can lead to muscle aches, fatigue, or liver enzyme changes, especially in people who are already sensitive to these medications. To understand how real this can be, let's look at the story of Evelyn, a 74-year-old retired school librarian from Ohio. Evelyn had always believed in natural remedies. She enjoyed garlic in her cooking and also began taking garlic capsules after reading about their benefits for blood pressure. Over time, she noticed more frequent bruises on her arms and legs. Even though she didn't remember bumping into anything, her energy started dipping, and she chalked it up to aging. But during a routine checkup, her doctor discovered her blood was thinner than expected. It turned out the garlic capsules were amplifying the effect of her prescription anticoagulant. Once she switched to using garlic only in her meals and stopped the supplements, her energy returned and the bruising faded. Her experience was a gentle but clear reminder that even something as wholesome as garlic can act powerfully in the body. That's why if you take garlic every day, especially in concentrated form, it's essential to talk to your doctor. Garlic supplements can contain the equivalent of several cloves in one tiny pill. It's more than just seasoning. For many, enjoying a clove or two in food is perfectly safe and even beneficial. But once prescriptions enter the picture, especially for the heart, blood sugar, or cholesterol, it's time to treat garlic with the same care as any medicine. Also, remember that garlic isn't the only natural product that affects your blood. If you're also taking high doses of vitamin E, fish oil, or other herbal supplements, the risk can stack up. Many older adults don't realize these interactions exist until something feels off. But by staying informed and open with your healthcare provider, you can continue to enjoy garlic's benefits while avoiding any unwanted surprises. Used wisely, garlic remains a gift from nature. But like all powerful tools, it works best when we handle it with intention and respect. Now that we've explored this critical point about medication, let's move on to mistake number 3, the belief that more garlic always means better health. Mistake number 3, believing more garlic means more benefits. Garlic has long been cherished as one of the most powerful natural allies we have for maintaining health as we age. It supports the heart, bolsters immunity, and adds a comforting flavor to nearly every meal. But mistake number 3 is something many seniors fall into without realizing. It's the idea that if garlic is good, then more must be better. That belief, while understandable, can quietly backfire, especially when we overdo it without listening to how our bodies respond. It's easy to see how this happens. You read an article about garlic lowering blood pressure, or hear a neighbor talk about how it helps with cholesterol. So, instead of 1 clove, you start adding 3 or 4 to your meals. Or perhaps you buy a bottle of garlic pills, thinking it's an easy shortcut to better health. But the body doesn't always respond to nutrients the way we expect. With garlic, more doesn't always mean more benefit. Sometimes it means more strain. Let me tell you about Walter, a 72-year-old grandfather from North Carolina. Walter had always been proactive about his health. After his doctor mentioned that garlic might help with his blood pressure, he took it to heart. He began adding 3 raw cloves to his salad every day and even bought garlic extract capsules from the local health store. Within a couple of weeks, Walter started noticing some troubling changes. He felt bloated after meals, experienced a burning sensation in his chest at night, and his breath was so strong that his granddaughter gently asked if he had eaten something funny. At first, Walter didn't connect it to garlic, but during a routine checkup, his doctor helped him put the pieces together. Too much garlic, especially raw or in supplement form, can irritate the stomach lining, leading to bloating, nausea, or reflux. This is particularly true for older adults whose digestive systems may already be more sensitive. Garlic also naturally thins the blood. While that's one reason it's considered heart healthy, if combined with blood-thinning medications or taken in excess, it can cause bruising or slow healing after small injuries. Even something as simple as trimming your nails can become a source of concern. There's also the social aspect. Garlic's sulfur compounds are what give it that unforgettable aroma, both in your mouth and sometimes even through your skin. For some seniors, this can affect their confidence, especially when engaging with friends or family. Feeling self-conscious about your breath can create unnecessary distance in social interactions, which are so vital to emotional well-being in more extreme cases, like when high-dose supplements are used for long periods. Garlic can place stress on the liver, especially if combined with other medications. That's why moderation isn't just a nice idea, it's a wise approach. For most seniors, 1 to 2 cloves per day, gently cooked after resting, is more than enough to provide consistent support for your body. That small, steady habit builds strength over time without tipping into discomfort or risk. Supplements can seem convenient, but they often contain concentrated extracts, sometimes equal to 5 or more cloves in 1 capsule. Without strict regulation, their potency can vary. That's why it's always best to speak with a healthcare provider before starting any supplement, especially if you're already managing chronic conditions. The key is consistency, not quantity. Your body benefits more from a small, daily dose of garlic than from an occasional flood. And when garlic is paired with other wholesome ingredients like leafy greens, legumes, or olive oil, the combined effect is far more balanced and nourishing. It becomes part of a lifestyle, not just a quick fix. Walter eventually cut back to using 1 clove of garlic in his evening meal, allowing it to rest before cooking it gently into his soups or stews. His digestion improved, his breath was no longer a concern, and his blood pressure remained stable. Most of all, he felt in control again, using garlic with mindfulness rather than urgency. So remember, garlic's true gift is not in its strength alone, but in how you invite it into your routine with care and wisdom. With garlic, just like with life, more is not always better. Balance is the real secret. And with that in mind, let's look ahead to mistake number 4, where timing proves just as important as quantity when it comes to reaping garlic's rewards. Mistake number 4, ignoring the timing of garlic intake. Garlic is a gift from nature, no doubt about it. But like any gift, it works best when received at the right time. Mistake number 4 is one that often slips under the radar. It is the habit of not thinking about when you eat garlic. While we often focus on how much to take or how to prepare it, the timing of garlic intake plays a surprisingly important role in how well your body absorbs and responds to its benefits, especially as you grow older. Let's begin with something simple but often overlooked. Your digestive system changes with age. What once felt fine in your 30s might now trigger heartburn or discomfort in your 70s. Garlic, especially in its raw form, can be a bit too bold for an empty stomach. Taken first thing in the morning, it may irritate the lining of your stomach and lead to nausea, cramping, or that unpleasant burning sensation some people associate with acid reflux. That's why eating raw garlic on an empty stomach, while popular in some health routines, isn't ideal for most seniors. But when garlic is eaten with food, the story changes. The natural fats, fiber, and proteins in a balanced meal help buffer garlic's strength, making its active compounds easier to process. Instead of overwhelming your system, it becomes a partner to your digestion. The absorption becomes smoother, and the chances of discomfort drop. This is especially true if you're using garlic to support heart health, reduce inflammation, or manage blood sugar. Taking garlic with a well-rounded lunch or dinner helps your body use it effectively while staying gentle on your gut. Let me share the story of Alma, a 76-year-old retired piano teacher. She started taking garlic each morning after reading that it could help regulate her blood pressure. But after a few weeks, she noticed she often felt queasy mid-morning and had trouble focusing during her daily crossword puzzle. Her doctor gently suggested a change. Instead of taking garlic on an empty stomach, he recommended adding it to her evening soup or pasta. Within days, the queasiness was gone, and her energy during the day returned. Alma didn't need to give up garlic. She just needed to adjust when she welcomed it into her body. Timing also matters for those on medications. Garlic naturally helps lower blood pressure and blood sugar. But when taken too close to medications like ACE inhibitors or glucose-lowering pills, the combined effect can sometimes lead to sudden drops that catch you off guard. These effects are not always dangerous, but they can leave you feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or unusually tired. Coordinating garlic with your meals rather than taking it in isolation helps smooth out these interactions and gives you more stability. And here's something else to consider. Some people find that eating garlic too late in the evening affects their sleep. It is not that garlic is a stimulant, but in some sensitive individuals, it can cause slight indigestion that keeps them from settling comfortably into rest. If you already struggle with sleep or tend to wake with a heavy stomach, it may help to enjoy your garlic earlier in the day instead of at dinner or beyond. So what's the best way forward? Think of garlic like a supplement. Be mindful. Aim for consistency and pair it with food whenever possible. Lunch and dinner are both great choices, especially if you're using garlic regularly for therapeutic purposes. If something feels off, shift your timing and see how your body responds. The goal is to work with your body, not against it. And above all, talk to your doctor. If you're taking garlic daily and you're also on medications, it's worth having that conversation. Your provider can help you find the best time to include garlic without causing unnecessary complications. Used thoughtfully, garlic remains one of the most valuable ingredients in your kitchen. When timing is aligned with your body's needs, its effects are more harmonious, more powerful, and more comfortable. With that in mind, let's explore mistake number 5. Why the form of garlic you choose matters just as much as how and when you use it. Mistake number 5. Using garlic supplements instead of fresh garlic. This last mistake is becoming more common as supplements grow in popularity, especially among seniors looking for convenient ways to stay healthy. Mistake number 5 is depending on garlic supplements instead of fresh garlic. At first glance, it seems reasonable. Supplements are easy to take, they don't leave behind a strong smell, and many promise all the benefits of garlic in a small, tidy pill. But the truth is, fresh garlic and garlic capsules are far from the same, and choosing the wrong form could mean losing out on the very benefits you're trying to gain. Let's begin with what makes garlic so powerful. When you crush a fresh clove and let it rest, it creates a compound called allicin. Allicin is responsible for most of garlic's healing effects, including lowering blood pressure and fighting off harmful bacteria. But allicin is fragile. It begins to break down quickly, especially when processed into pills. Many garlic supplements, particularly odorless ones, lose most or even all of their allicin by the time they reach your bloodstream. Some use aged garlic extract, which contains different compounds that may offer milder benefits, but it's not the same. Beyond that, there's a problem with quality control. Unlike prescription medications, garlic supplements are not strictly regulated. That means one brand might contain 5 times the active compound of another, while some might contain almost none at all, without third-party testing or pharmaceutical oversight. You simply can't be sure what you're getting. Now consider how your body processes garlic. When eaten fresh with a meal, garlic works in harmony with your digestive enzymes and dietary fats, helping your body absorb its nutrients more effectively. But when taken as a supplement, especially on an empty stomach, absorption may be less predictable. Plus, the concentrated form can be too strong and may increase the risk of interactions with medications like blood thinners, cholesterol drugs, or diabetes treatments. Let's take a real-life example. Margaret, a 73-year-old retiree, started taking garlic capsules each morning after reading about their benefits online. She assumed more garlic meant more protection, but after a few weeks, she noticed easy bruising and mild stomach discomfort. Her doctor discovered that the high-potency supplement was interfering with her blood thinner. Once she returned to using fresh garlic in her cooking and gave the pills a rest, the bruising stopped and her digestion improved. This doesn't mean all garlic supplements are bad for those who can't tolerate garlic in food or dislike its taste. A carefully chosen, doctor-approved supplement can be helpful, but it should never replace fresh garlic blindly. The best way to enjoy garlic's true power is still the traditional way. Chop it, let it rest for 10 minutes, and enjoy it with your meals. Not only will you get allicin in its most natural form, but you'll also benefit from garlic's other nutrients like selenium, manganese, and vitamin C. In the end, it's not about what's easier, it's about what truly works. Fresh garlic may take a little more effort, but it offers something that pills often cannot: real, lasting support for your health. You've just learned 5 small garlic habits that could make a big difference in how you feel each day. These aren't complicated changes, but they are powerful. When used with care, garlic becomes more than just a flavor. It becomes part of your healing. If today's insights helped you, consider subscribing so you can keep growing with us. And before you go, share your thoughts with a quick comment. Garlic tip learned. Remember, good health is built one gentle choice at a time. See you in the next video where we explore another everyday habit that could quietly shape your well-being.